Okay, so the question in this video is, how do I get started with OET reading? And I'm just going to answer that question just with a piece of very important advice, okay? Don't use the mock exam materials too quickly when you start, okay? A very common mistake for a lot of students when they start is they find 4 mock tests, they do the 4 mock tests, and that's it. There's not a lot of mock tests to be found to practice, okay? So they start to get stressed because they've used all the material they have, okay? So I advise just do 1 mock test now, 1 or 2 maybe, just to get a sense of your level, okay? And then you need to find other ways to study reading, okay? So I'll just give you some tips now, some quick tips. How can you study reading without doing mock tests? Well, obviously the first thing you can do is to start reading things like medical journals and things like the Nursing Times, okay? There's lots of language in there which will be very useful for you, and you'll just start to get ready and used to sort of reading that kind of language. So that's tip 1. The second tip would be to focus now on vocabulary, all right? So very often in OET reading, or all reading exams, if you don't know the meaning of a specific word, you can't get the answer. You might be a really fast reader, you might have excellent technique, very logical approach, okay? But if you don't know the meaning of one key word, sometimes that, it really stops you from getting the answer, okay? For example, I once had a class where we had the word outset, okay, at the outset. And, some people had a good idea of what that word meant. Some people didn't. And the people that kind of knew what that meant were able to get the answer. The people that didn't really struggled to get the correct answer. Okay, so vocabulary is very important, and start studying that now. For example, why not learn 2 academic words every day, right? That would be 14 every week. You'll start to build up your academic vocabulary. The last tip I would say is, a lot of people think that the reading test is, requires you to know lots of medical terminology, right? But notice I was saying before, academic vocabulary is key, okay? OET are not testing your medical knowledge. So very often, even in the OET reading exams, it's not all about medical vocabulary. It will be academic vocabulary, okay? Just when I used that word outset before, that's more like a sort of academic word, okay? So that's how to get started with OET reading. I hope it was useful, and I'll see you in the next video.